What up? Welcome back to the NBA playoff with the OG crew. We got everybody here, and first thing on my mind, they gave us hell, rightfully so, when we lost that Warriors pick. But we all like the Mavericks, didn't we, in that last game? So, we'll pat ourselves on the back. Great job by the crew. Everybody liked the Mavericks on that one.
Yeah, and salute to Luka the motherfucking Don. That's what happens. When you back a real motherfucker, goddamn it.
And what a shot at the end to put that game away, motherfucking asshole! Yeah,
that's what we're looking for.
I told you he wants to beat them. He wants to win versus them guys.
That's
we all talking. Go ahead, Dutch. I know you like what you've been saying.
Yeah, man. The NBA is a hell of a drug. And you're looking at the plugs. Yeah, man. Hey, that shit was a beautiful thing. As you said, we got, comments, we got put through the ringer a little bit for all four of us being on the same side. And I can't lie. I know all four of us was a little bit when we were all on the same side again. Hey, but you know what it is, man. It's looking motherfucking Don. Beautiful Tuesday. Beautiful Tuesday. It's only right, as our boy Wham Bam would say, we touched down on the fucking OG NBA crew, and I go 4-1. Only loss was my late addition too, which was the Bucks. I love the Dame time over 29.5. Didn't need to ride with the Bucks, but I added it late. Everything I'm adding late, I just need to stay away, man. What I see at the beginning of the day is what I need to be betting, and just leave it the fuck alone, man. Yesterday was a up and down day, but we are 8-3 in the playoffs so far, so we're gonna keep it rolling. Money to be made, most definitely. And ladies and gentlemen, my biggest bet of the NBA season is on tonight's card, and I'm feeling pretty fucking good about it.
I like to hear that.
Actually, yeah.
I'm gonna slide to Wham Bam, but Casey in the building says, Lake Show, where you at? Hey, we know you've been on vacation for a while. It's okay. You want to throw some jabs. Wham Bam, I see you got the cap on. How you feeling today?
Now, I don't feel too good about the hat. I ain't gonna lie to you about that. But at the same time, I'm happy to be here with my bros, man, with my guys, the chat. KC, it's all good, baby. It's all good. We need to know who on your team first before you come talking to us. Let's know who on your team in the playoffs. So yeah, we got a home game today. Let's see how the Lakers show out. They should have won that game. We see what it was. I did have that +7 in that game. I was so happy I didn't take the money line. I didn't get as boisterous as is, but they got to win today. Let's talk about it. But it's a lot of games. Finally, we get 3 games. We got a good chat here. G Martinez, Munoz, LJ from H-Town, Joshua. Man, winner circle. We about to win today, man. Shout out to Ray. Shout out to everybody, bro.
And Babano, that Luka, what you said about Luka, I did love that all the way. And I know you had a good day yesterday. Sounds like NBA has been treating you well.
Yeah, we swept on Tuesday when we were last doing this show together, the four of us. It was a great Tuesday, and swept again last night, 9-0. NBA sides and totals the last 2 nights, so we'll take that. We had the over in the Pelicans Thunder. We had the Thunder. We had the Heat last night. I'm telling you what, you could put Eric Spoelstra up with no superstar, top players out of the lineup, and you could put him up against the 80 Lakers or the 90s Bulls. He'd find a way to cover 15 points as an underdog off a loss. That's just what he does. And just an outstanding job by the Miami Heat last night, bouncing back. I had thought they'd compete. I did not think they would win the game outright like that, but hell of a job. Tyler Hero, hell of a game. And they end up tying up that series 1-1. Thunder, I kind of thought the Pelicans, blew their chance in game 1 to get out of OKC with a split. I thought the Thunder, who played their worst game probably in a long time in game 1, would be a lot better in game 2, and they were. So they go up 2-0. So good night, but let's see if we can keep this run going today with the 3 games.
Try to keep it going. One thing I'll say, I got a comment on the show I did earlier this morning. The comment came 6 minutes ago, and it says, the coach for the Lakers is ass. That's why they lost the first 2 games. If they had Miami's coach, they'll be up 2-0. You guys agree with that?
Yeah, they'd have a better chance to be up 2-0, that's for sure. I think some of it falls on the personnel. It's not all on Darvin Ham, but yeah, Darvin Ham ain't Eric Spoelstra, and I do get the feeling Eric Spoelstra would have found a way for his team to get out of Denver with at least one of those wins.
Game 2 up 20. I think Spo would have got that one done. I think he would have made sure D'Lo and AD would have been in the offense in the fourth, and it wasn't LBJ, Coach LBJ, running the show. I think Spo would have said, "Sit your motherfucking ass down if you don't want to give it up."
We've seen it before. He's able to keep that bitch
That's why his ass
down,
ski out of South Beach, right?
Yeah. That's what he would have able to sit his ass down. When was the last time LeBron actually gave a point to blame at itself? When was the last time we seen that? We'll never see it. And yeah, man, AD didn't even touch the ball in the fourth quarter. So yeah, they definitely would have won that second game.
Pat Riley said, "There's one coach in this motherfucker."
Man, and I'm also, I mean, we had a chance to get Ty Lue, but we're not gonna sit here and talk about the Lakers all day. We got 3 games on the slate. Yeah, we'll get to it. Unfortunately, we have to talk about them later today. First game up, we have Cleveland and Orlando. And I mean, it's gonna be a common theme for all these games. You have all the home teams down 0-2. So returning back home, desperation spot, opened up Cavs -1, flip of favorites. We now see Magic -2.5, and the total, I mean, it opened close to 200. Now it looks like 201.5. So for this game, I want to come to you first here, Babano. And the Magic, this is what I said. I said that maybe the lights were too bright. You know, it's a young team coming into the playoffs versus a Cavaliers team who has something to prove after last year. I mean, Cavaliers had done what they were supposed to do the first 2 games. Returning home, can this young team get back on track? The Magic.
I think so. I think they're going to win a game in this series at least, and I think tonight's the night. You got to remember, they aren't a great three-point shooting team, but they were beyond bad in the first 2 games, and I just don't know if they are going to shoot that bad again, especially going back home. And another thing to factor in is it's been a long time since Orlando has had a home playoff game. Okay, so this is kind of a special night for the franchise and for the fan base, so you'd expect a lot of energy in that building. It's been a long time since the Magic have been in the playoffs, first home playoff game in quite some time. So I don't think they're going to win the series. I think we've seen that Cleveland's kind of established themselves as a better team. And I think as the series goes on, just as in the first 2 games, when you get back to Cleveland, we saw how much the perimeter game struggled for Orlando. And really, we've seen it already in this series, how their strength is the front court, scoring inside, and how that can be negated by Cleveland because of Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. It's just very difficult for that Orlando strength. It's basically negated by what Cleveland can do. But I think for tonight, in this game, down 2-0 at home, should be a frenzied atmosphere. I think the Magic can do enough to pull out a victory here tonight against the Cavaliers. So just going with the straightforward Magic money line here in this one.
And I get it. I mean, teams returning home, or I'm sorry, home favorites in game 3 after losing the first 2 games, they win a little bit above 69% of the time. They cover about 61.5% of the time. So absolute Magic spot. I'll slide it over to Wham Bam here. And I'll ask you, if you're getting involved, would you want to do it early maybe? Do you think the Magic, that desperation comes out in the first quarter versus Cavs team? Or can they hang the entire length of the game?
The first halves are pretty much the same spread for 2 of these games because they're down 0-2. Pretty much for all these games because they're down 0-2 at the house. So you know how you know how that goes in the playoffs as far as the line there, as far as what you expect as far as trending there. So yeah, I would kind of keep it consistent, I would say. And like Babano said, the fact that this is the first in a long time home playoff game for Orlando, they may be having a little bit extra theatrics going their way as far as the NBA is concerned. And sure enough, the guy that normally orchestrate the NBA fuckery, Scott Foster, is in the officiating this game. So, we do got something to say about that. But for the most part, I think I'm going to be consistent here. Take the under. It's 0-7 consecutive unders for the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs since 2018, I believe. And then this Orlando Magic in that same span is 4-8 towards the under. And we've seen that both of these totals, I mean, none of these teams has been able to get over 100 points. So 201.5. I'm going to go this direction. I think they will be blowing a whistle a little bit, but it'll be more controlled, not necessarily egregious as it was for that Laker game last game, something crazy like that. But I think it's going to be a little bit more controlled here. And the Magic figure out a way to get this game done. I think they are going to win this game, but the following game, it may be a little bit trickier here. So, yeah, Chris, Cheshire Cat, yeah, Scott Foster hasn't really been treating us really right lately. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie to you, but in this game, I think that the under is good money here. So 201.5, that's the way I'm going. And then that game with Scott Foster and the Lakers, that one went under as well. So so that's that we got something going on there for us with the Foster train at least.
All right, last but not least, he said he has a game that he likes more than every other game so far in the playoffs, but I don't think this one is it. Am I wrong?
Nah, you're not wrong, Skee. Shout out to our guy, Cheshire Cat in the building. Roy D'Amico in the building. Good to see you, my man. JT, I see you. Rick White. Y'all run up the motherfucking like button. Hit that motherfucking like button like I'm hitting this plane of ice runs. Get you right where you need to be. Believe it. Check it out, man. Check it out. You know there's levels to this shit, goddammit. And when we done talked about this, I'm still riding high on the Cavaliers, how easy they made me money game 1 and 2. First half, full game, you know, it is a good motherfucking money. You watch the game, you see what it is, man. I mean, I've been telling y'all, these motherfuckers can't shoot. They cannot shoot. To NBA, Banchero's nice. You know, Wagner nice. These dudes are solid. But they can't fucking shoot the ball. And if you can't shoot the ball, let alone in the NBA, but in the playoff basketball, man, you're in trouble. And I'm telling you right now, 21% from the 3, 25 in game 2. I don't know if it's going to get much better. Obviously, clear spot here from what you've heard from the panel already. I mean, this is an Orlando Magic spot. And I think almost 80% of the public is on Orlando. So now it's really, I mean, it's like they're just going to show up and win the game. And let me tell you something about Orlando. They're not too excited about going to see the Magic games. They could give a fuck less about the Orlando Magic in Orlando. They're going to Disney World. They're going to fucking water parks. They're going to Universal Studios. Okay, I used to live in that motherfucker. Thank you, Orlando Magic, for allowing me to see LBJ for 150 damn near 16 rows back. I mean, thank you for letting me see Rondo, Paul Pierce, KG, and the whole damn crew, Ray Allen, for the low back in the day. Because nobody's going to those fucking games. So, yeah, it's a playoff game, but don't expect it to be hee-hee, rah-rah there in Orlando. They out there having fun with the kids. Believe that. I like the Cavaliers in this series. I said Orlando would gentlemen sweep these motherfuckers. Don't be surprised if they smack them both games in Orlando, because Cavaliers got punked last year in the first round against New York. They remember that. Cavaliers got a sour taste in their mouth from the way they ended the regular season. This was one of the better teams in the first part of the season. This team is clearly leaps and bounds better than the Orlando Magic. Is there value with the Cavaliers? I'm starting to see it a little bit, but I'm not going to bet this basketball game. I did not bet this basketball game, but there's no way in fucking hell I'm betting the non-shooting Orlando Magic. I don't give a fuck how good the spot is. I do not like what I see out of this team.
And that's another reason why I like the under, bro. If it is a Magic spot, they're going to hold the Cavs under 100 points. They ain't not about to get 100 points either. So I like this under all the way, bro. And then also Gary Harris, if there anything with threes and props, if you got to put a prop in here, I'm going back to Gary Harris. I think he gets 2 threes here and possibly another 10 piece as far as points. So over 6.5 points for him. I like that.
A couple things to say about what you guys just said right there. And there's a couple comments here as well. Trevor Till says, I actually think the Magic threes will hit at home tonight. I agree with Dutch in the fact that the Magic are absolutely abysmal shooting team. I think they're second worst, if not the worst, or, they're somewhere down there as far as 3-point percentage. So I don't expect that to, magically just change here today. After game 1, I listened to the Magic coach, and he sounded like he was just going to do the exact same thing. So I wouldn't bet the Cavaliers because I expected the exact same result. But coming back home, we know the road players play a little bit better there. Maybe these young guys play better at home. It makes me a little nervous. It also makes me nervous that this could be the one game that gets over the total. So I haven't put any money on it. Anything else you guys want to add before we move along?
All I remember is Brendan Haywood announcing when I was watching Cavaliers game 2. He said, man, the Magic can't buy a 3-point basket. And I was just like, man, I read this motherfucker. I'm telling you, they get the ball and they're like, oh, should I shoot it or should I not? Like, they're like that. For real. Everyone on their team.
They all spooked for sure. They've been.
I mean, Gary Harris, our boy Wham Bam, said he's the best shooter they got. I didn't know that motherfucker was a shooter.
Yeah, yeah.
He just been hurt. That's all.
I mean, he all right, but I mean, he might have been a shooter back in Denver.
Certainly wasn't in game 1.
Spartan.
Yeah,
I'm saying in Denver when he was in Spartan for sure. He was always a shooter.
That motherfucker been hurt. Shit.
I was gonna say this too when I was thinking about it on my way to work. I was like, why people keep saying why is he a shooter? Bro, his role changed so completely once he went to Orlando. He just got the bag and then they punished him. You know what I'm saying? Similar to how they doing Tyrese Halliburton. They punishing the boy, you know what I'm saying?
My bad. My eye screen just blanked out. But I am gonna move on over to the next game, and I'm pretty sure the line hasn't moved. Knicks and 76ers. Sixers as a 5.5 point favorite. The Knicks were just what 5 point favorites in both of the games. Now 10 point move because of the situation that they're in and being at home. I'll say this. I I bet the Knicks on the series. I'm happy with how they look right now, but I gotta be honest and say that when both starting fives are on the court, Philly has looked like the better team.
Talk about
Um, now when they're at home, where the bench should play better, and that's going to be a negative for the Knicks because that's the one thing that's been saving them. Brunson has been terrible, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't think the Knicks role players play as good in Philly tonight, and in a desperation spot at home when they've been looking good. Like this is a lot different than what we just talked about with the Magic. I would trust the Sixers, but I think I would trust them more in the first quarter, just because I know Joel is going to play pretty much the majority of it, and I would prefer to play on that rather than when he's on the bench. So leaning towards Sixers first quarter -2.5 or -3. And Dutch, I think this is the game that you like quite a bit.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Shout out to Tasha in the building. Good to see you, young lady. This is absolutely the motherfucking game I like. This is a beautiful thing right here. This is the best look on the board, and it's not a motherfucking question. I like the first quarter, but this game right here, man, let's talk about it. I mean, them stripes had a nice little bet on the Knickerbockers in game 2. I mean, they did anything possible to let them motherfuckers get out of their money line. Yeah, so as our boy WAM, it's only right. I mean, it's gonna come around, but let's be honest, as our boy Skee said, definitely the starting five. When you watch these teams play, the Sixers look like the better team a lot of the time. I mean, they've outplayed them in quarters, and then it seems to fall apart for them. I think Maxey, I think they're playing Brunson pretty well as well too. But on the other side of that, I think Maxey can match Brunson. I think Maxey is a nightmare matchup, and not to mention this is a tired basketball team when it comes to the minutes. They play so dominant. The Knicks with their starters. I mean, I don't even think this motherfucker Josh Hart has set out a minute yet. And shout out to Josh Hart. He's played one hell of a game of a playoff so far. One hell of a season, but game 2. I mean, he's fucking sick, bro. Like I'm like, God, this guy's fucking everywhere. He doesn't stop. He hustles. He plays defense. And if he's knocking down threes. I mean, Josh Hart. Shout out to that motherfucker. That's what I gotta say because he's the reason why they won 1 game and 2. In my opinion, though, it comes to in here, Philly. I don't know if I like New York to win this series. I definitely like Philly to smack them tonight and in game 4. I believe they'll get the calls tonight, but I think at the end of the day, Mitchell Robinson's questionable now. He might be ducking, and B's coming out for a 50 piece. We heard him. We heard him in his little emotional, depression after the game. I mean, did he have shit to be upset about? Absolutely. Did he handle it in a way that he would handle it? Yeah, probably this motherfucker, man. But I think tonight we see the dominant force, the most dominant big man in the league is Joel Embiid, and I believe we see it tonight. I think he gets off. I think Tobias Harris does his thing. I think the role players get in well. We haven't seen a big game really from anyone for these Sixers. I think we have it tonight. Simply though, I believe the refs are going to be on their side. I think, it's situational spot. Like you guys said about the Magic here, I absolutely trust Philadelphia here. Big game from Embiid. Maxey attacks. And I think they continue to make Brunson struggle. And I don't think Josh Hart's going to be fucking Wonder man. God damn, he was good in New York. So shout out to the Sixers tonight. Joel Embiid, Maxey. Look for Tobias to do his thing. I like the Sixers an awful lot tonight. They're good money. I got it at 4.5 because I tweeted this shit out last night too. But I do endorse the 5.5.
Shout out to JPZ with the $10 dono. We appreciate you. Says shout out to the original NBA crew, and I enjoyed working with these guys tremendously. And we help each other out. We talk these games out, and we're able to make some money doing it. So appreciate it. There was one comment that I wanted to put up here, but I can't find it anymore. It pretty much said, as home favorites in the games the Sixers won, they were 21-3. So when they win, they cover. Shouldn't really be worried about the number. But Bano, I'm gonna come to you on this game next. And we both like the Sixers quite a bit here, even though I like the Knicks for the series. Do you think this is a game where you can take advantage of the spot and bet those Philadelphia 76ers?
Not really, quite honestly.
Mm.
Not really. 21-2 is the record for the Knicks when Anunoby and Brunson have been on the court together. 21-2. And you've got to lay 5.5 points against these guys tonight. I mean, my goodness, I'm not comfortable doing it, especially after the Sixers pissed it away in game 2 against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. I mean, 21 wins in 23 games when they've had both Anunoby and Brunson, and you got to lay 5.5 tonight, against them in a spot like this. So I'm a little worried about laying it with Philly. Obviously, it's a clear Philly spot. They need the win. They have to have this one. You can't go down 3-0 in this series, and you'd expect everyone around Embiid to play well tonight. Maxey at home. Harris has to get his head out of his ass and get going here for the Philadelphia 76ers, but you'd expect everyone to get rolling for Philly at home. But now that it's up to 5.5, I'm not comfortable. I might even sprinkle on the Knicks. Not strong because this is such a strong Philly spot and they're capable of bouncing back here on their home floor. But that record with this team, this Knicks team, with Anunoby on the court, and of course he missed a shit ton of games down the stretch. That's strong, and you have to lay 5.5 against that kind of a track record. I'm just not comfortable.
I get it. If Mitchell Robinson was to miss this game, would that change your opinion?
No, I mean, Hartenstein's capable. I like Hartenstein props actually tonight in this game. I think he's definitely someone that might be able to step up, fill the void. I think if you're looking at Philly props, there are a couple. I think Maxey's good. It's hard with Harris because, but at home, you got to think he's going to be a little bit better, more assertive, more comfortable, more confident. So there's definitely value in his props to Tobias Harris, but that's not an easy trigger to pull with that guy. I'll tell you that right now.
All right, Wham Bam. Last but not least, you rolling with the Sixers? You think the Knicks might be a little bit too much to handle?
Yeah, let me cleanse the group chat with that Tobias Harris. I know my boy got hope for him, but I don't. I'm gonna say he's the weakest link, and bitch, goodbye. Get up out of here. I'm not gonna trust that piece of bag of potatoes for shit. So Maxey for sure. Maxey over 26.5. What he's at 33 last 2 games, 33, 35 last game. Shooting really, really efficient. Gotta go Maxey here. I'm so annoyed with props though because normally they correlate against the other team that I like, and it doesn't in this game. I think the Sixers are the spot. Like our guy Razor Sharp says, do damage. Man, I know we couldn't do the woulda, coulda, shoulda stuff, but I mean I'm only a one possession away from having both of my futures looking really good with the damn Eastern Conference Sixers and the Lakers. But obviously you see how that happened. So I should double down today. I should double down with both sides of both of those because it's a clear spot for both of them. And the 76ers are the one that you said too, Skee. They do look like the better team here. It's just that there's been a lot of going on for this Knicks team that I really do like, especially chemistry-wise. And Babano's kind of alluding to that with the record with Onobi. And I think Josh Hart is kind of here to stay. Knowing that he's been around all his college buddies right here, I don't think he's worried about having a downgrade or anything like that. He's going to play free as he has been. And I'm not thinking that he's going to go 20 plus with a double-double, crazy. He's going to go crazy on the boards. Isaiah Hartenstein is where I want to go. I hope that he is announced out or Mitchell's announced out. I'm thinking that 6-1 look for the double-double. Isaiah's pretty good spot. He had 14 points last game. Obviously, those other two, Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson holding the boards down. He could get a little bit of those boards and get the double-double there. So I do like both of those there. This is the only game that I'm really scared to pull the trigger on, though, to be honest with you. And I think it's the Sixers all the way here. I wanted to talk to you guys about it. Just like Skee said, we do this show to not only for you guys, but honestly for myself too, because I want to talk to my friends about is this a good bet or not. So is the Sixers a good bet? I think it is, though.
All right, Babano maybe outnumbered for this one, even though he didn't say he loves it or he's running to the window or anything. But Just
If this
opinion
closes at
wise.
5.5 or it keeps going up, I will have something on the Knicks at that number.
There you go. So
Do it, my friend.
a little bit of head to head, and it's good for the show. I'll say that for sure. Last game up, we have Nuggets and Lakers. I'm just gonna. I can talk forever about this, and I'm gonna be extremely irritated if I do, but I can. The Lakers had both games, winning by 20 points in the last game, and cannot hold on once again. And I come on here and I say the same things every single time. The reason the Lakers have been good down the stretch of the season is because they're running organized offense. In game, what was it? I think it was after game one. You look at it, the organized offense percentage went down every single quarter. And so did, how good the Lakers look. The last game, I mean, you can just look at the game. You don't got to look at numbers. D'Lo killing, going off, running offense, running sets, etc., running plays for AD. Lakers looking good. We get to the third or fourth quarter, you start trying to manipulate the game, ISO ball, and not feeding AD, etc. Putting the coaches to blame too. Putting D'Lo on the bench, uh, not putting Austin Reeves on the bench. It's just a lot where it's hard for me to trust this Lakers team. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'll say a little bit more after you guys go. I want to come to Babano here first because he's the most unbiased out of the all three when it comes to Laker games. So you watched a few. Can the Lakers get a win? Can they get one win, Babano?
It's funny. The Lakers, for being down 2-0, and Lakers fans are upset and angry and sad and frustrated and all these different emotions at being up in game one and losing, being up by 20 in game two in the second half and losing. The Lakers are doing just right by me. I've been on them in the first quarters and the first halves and the first two games, and they've been coming through for me in these situations, and I had zero trust in them for the full game. But one thing we've gotten out of this team consistently is strong starts out of the gate, and almost like this cocky, arrogant, but they've deserved to be cocky and arrogant because they find ways to win. Almost like Denver can say, you know what? We're just going to play for exercise first quarter. We're just going to play for exercise second half. You guys go, go balls to the wall first quarter, first half, get your big lead. We're going to be fine, and we'll roll our way right back into the game in the second half and take over and win. It's almost like they've had that kind of mentality, Denver, in the first two games of this series. I think it's probably going to be the same here. I do think you're going to get a great start from the Lakers again for the third straight game back home at Crypto Arena, down 2-0. I like them first quarter. I like them first half, just like I have the last couple games in this series, the first two games. But in the full game, do I trust the Lakers? Hell no. And it's been on full display what we've seen here from the Lakers here. So I'm actually tempted to go with Denver full game along with that Lakers first quarter, first half. But my intent is going to be, if the Lakers are up at halftime, maybe they're up by 8, maybe they're up by even double digits, have that strong start, we'll bet Denver live as opposed to betting them full game before the game tips off. So that's going to be the approach for me here. I do like the Lakers first quarter, first half, but come on, after everything we've seen in the first two games, it's very difficult to trust them for 48 minutes to find the way to win. And how many times have we seen them? This goes back to the regular season. This goes back to the disgrace that was Kobe Bryant's statue night in LA, when they played such a great game, and then all of a sudden late in the fourth quarter, who's making all the plays, who's getting the big shots, who's getting the rebounds, who's making the stops on defense? Denver, time and time again, possession by possession by possession late in that game. And it's like I was watching the same thing in game 2 the other night, the way that game ended. So Lakers early, not for the game though.
And I can understand it. That's how we've seen it go. And you bringing back bad memories, Babano, bringing up bringing up some of those old games.
I know, because even I took the Lakers, or I almost did that night. I didn't, but I was shocked at how bad it was.
Yeah, it was disgraceful.
Yeah,
disgraceful is the word that comes to mind for me. I'll let Dutch go. Let Dutch go ahead and get it off his chest. How you feeling about this game, Dutch? Is it 0-3 for the Lakers?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Mark Coyle in the building. I see you, my man. Shit, this game right here. Saturated. I see you, my dude. This game right here is tricky, bro. You know what's crazy as fuck is the stat is your boy Prince. The Prince is the only motherfucker that scored off the bench. 17 point is all. Nobody else has scored off the bench. I thought it was one of them little fake ass sites putting that shit. I what the fuck? That's insane, bro. That's crazy. So, are the bench players gonna play a little bit better? Can anyone else make a bucket besides Tayshaun Prince or this motherfucker Prince? That's crazy though, man. That's crazy to me. I would expect the role players to play a little bit better. Darvin Ham, do better, bro. Do better, man. Come on, that's got to fall back on the coaching a little bit. You can't. You gotta press the right button eventually. But yeah, I would look for D'Lo to keep continuing to get involved. I think they'll make more of an emphasis effort in the second half for him. To be he's got to have the ball in his hand a little more. I think obviously, when it counts, LeBron's gonna have it, but D'Lo they don't have nothing for him. If he's knocking down his shots, he just missed shots in game one. But overall, you kind of got to be a little bit happy about the way the Lakers played in Denver. Like they were in game one. Everyone's, Bobano touched on it. Up 8 after one. Cover first half. I believe they're up 5 or somewhere at the end of one. We know the 20-point lead in the second quarter. So they actually played pretty well in Denver. AD looked really well until they just went, away from him. So Joker can't do nothing with him offensively. But obviously, we know AD really can't do nothing with Joker either. So they kind of squash each other out, to be quite honest with you. But the one thing is Joker makes a lot of his players a little bit better, which separates him. In my opinion, this is a Lakers spot. I have to see it to believe it, though. And what's tricky about this, I wanted to go to the window with the Lakers first half, but it's minus it's minus 2.5 first half. It's like 160, 175 at books first half money line when they're fucking minus 115, 110 for the minus 1 for the game. It seems a little suspect to me. It does seem a little suspect with the Lakers first half, first quarter. I root on my boy Bobano. I think a lot of people will like that look because it makes fucking sense. I mean, they've outplayed Denver in both games the first half, and they get tired in the LBJ show. It becomes the LBJ show, and we see what happens. So it makes sense, but I'm staying off of it because it's just like I don't like how the books are making us pay an extreme amount for that first half. But I do believe this is a Lakers game. But they've lost so many goddamn games to the Denver Nuggets. I thought it's been this time. Bobano touched on it. You lose on Kobe night, I don't give a fuck what night it is. It's going to be hard for me to go to the window with you after that if you're playing the Denver Nuggets. So, yeah, I got to see it to believe it. Tonight should be the night, though. It should be the night. But be careful with that first half. Be careful with the first half.
It's tonight the night, Wham Bam.
Hey, man, I don't know what it is, but Rick Ross got me saying white boy a lot now. So every time I see Austin Reeves with the ball, I'll be thinking about that Rick Ross rant to Drake. Tell your mama to stay out till curfew, white boy, because he just looks scared. And I think he gets it done today, though. I think like the role player shit has effect on him. It has an effect on Rui, obviously, because Rui sucks. He's getting a lot of burn. I know he's getting abused by Jokic, and he's doing as best as he can. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's doing as best as he can, but yeah, man, it's just role players are just not looking as role playing right now. I think that they are going to get some sort of help there. Gabe Vincent defense has shown me so much so far this damn in this playoffs. For some strange reason, he's not injected in defensive moments during the end of the game. I'm like, why is he not guarding Jamal Murray down the stretch like this? Or what are we not doing? Like, it's you have a timeout too. It's just so many levels to that last play there. And then obviously LeBron giving up that last three. That was nasty business. Shooting that last three when he should have gave AD the ball. And I think that when you look back, obviously it's just glaring that Anthony Davis was phenomenal the last few games. Ended the game with 32 points and didn't touch the damn ball in the fourth quarter. Like, obviously that is the problem. That is where you get your adjustment there. And as far as them saying that you couldn't play any better, hell yeah, they could have played a lot better because they could have gave him the ball and won the damn game. So that's my approach in this game. That's the correction. Give Anthony Davis the ball and let him do what he's already been doing, going over 25.5 points. So we're going to go right back to AD. AD monster game. I think AD masterclass. I think whatever you want to call it, I think you should be able to make money with AD today. If Darvin Ham wants to even live in the NBA, be able to be allowed inside of arena, bro, you better let AD play through today, man. That's all I'm going to say. As far as the Lakers winning this game, do I want to trust them? Hell yeah, I do want to trust them because, like Dutch said, this is all in the spread. As far as the 2.5, they're going to come out with the urgency, I believe. But do we trust that? I'm not sure if I want to trust that 2.5. This one is the closest out of all the other first halves. I'd rather trust the Magic. I'd rather trust the Sixers. I don't want to trust this Lakers team just because they have been winning, and it seems a little bit more easier than the other two. So I think that the Nuggets may be coming out early in this game, and the Lakers may be doing it towards the end of the game. I'd rather have the live spot opportunity with the pregame with the Lakers side here. Other than that, man, it's only going to be AD, bro. AD, D'Lo, obviously, I'm going to go back to the well with D'Lo. Over 3.5 threes. I think he has to be the 3 guy. I mean, he has to be the 3 guy, because it's not coming from Austin Reeves. So it has to be him because we can't rely on LeBron. Even though LeBron's he's gonna have moments in this game. I know, guarantee, especially if the Lakers are up, he's gonna have moments where he's trying to get his highlights off. That's what he was doing all in the fourth quarter, trying to get his highlights off for the ESPN look. But AD got to be the focal point, Cam. If that's the case, man, listen, I'm not going to eat swine for the rest of the year. I'm not playing no pork on my fork for real. He is going to change my diet if he don't fucking have AD in the damn game today. So over 20.5 points. I'm not capping, bro. No pork on my I'm dead ass serious, Dutch. He is
going to be. That's a good thing, though.
Be careful with those guarantees.
I'm changing. I know. I'm not trying to guarantee nothing. I'm not guaranteeing nothing. I'm just saying, if this happens, I'm not putting pork on my fork for the rest of the year. Fuck all that.
Man.
Protesting. I'm protesting. He's fired.
There's a lot of comments out there. We all talked about the game already. They're saying, has Babano and Skee win? Babano went first. I'll talk before Babano. But I do want to come back and ask, there's some questions about the total. We didn't really talk about that at all. I do think the Nuggets can play better offensively. The Lakers at least will have organized offense to start the game. Whether they do it at the end of the game is to be determined. I think the first half over at 110 catches my attention a little bit more than the full game. But I'm not looking towards an under. Bano, you have an opinion?
Yeah, I lean over too. I haven't decided if I'm going to bet it. I might split it up though. First half, full game. I do worry about that it does slow down a bit. We do get a little bit of a defensive mentality later in the game. So, but I do think early we're going to see points. So my thinking is if I get involved, I'm not going to put it all on the full game. We'll look first half and full game over split for tonight.
All right. Anybody else opinion on the total?
Yeah, I agree with the line movement. You've seen it at 214.5, and I shot up to 217.5. So I do agree with the line movement. I think this is an over spot for both teams.
All right. I know you don't do a whole lot of totals, Dutch. So that is a 3 games for today. So about that time, we move on over to best bets. And per usual, I slide to my guy Wham Bam first. Curious to see what your best bet is, but let the people know what's the best way to get paid.
Yeah, I should say that under. But Skee said he didn't like it, so it kind of got me a little worried there. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, I got the hat on for a reason, and it's a black hat, no color in here for a reason too. Like I said, you guys, I'm not playing. If this boy does not go through AD, I am not going to put pork on my fork. I am protesting Darvin Ham for the rest of the year. It's not no guarantee about that. It's just going to be the truth. AD over 25.5 points. Over 25.5 points at -115. That's going to be my best bet for the day. He had this both games. They need to have organized basketball, like Skee said, and run through AD. So give me 25.5. Give me 26 points with AD, and let's cash.
All right, good stuff from Wham Bam. I'll pass it on over to Babano next. Let the people know how you think is the best way to get paid.
Yeah, best bet for me. Look, I'm going to stick with what's been working here in this Lakers and Nuggets series. And Lakers have been good early. And then in the second half, that's when Denver, kind of awakens, gets ups the intensity, ups the ante, gets the defense back up in gear, and turns this into a tough game down the stretch. But we have seen the Lakers play well early, so we're going to take the Lakers first half. But we're going to take the Lakers first half money line here. It's -140 at Betano. That's what we'll look at. First half, Lakers money line -140. Best bet.
Good stuff from Babano. I will go next, and I have to be honest. There's, a lot of things I'm looking at. There's nothing I absolutely love, but there's a play that I'm willing to put some money on. It won't be a whole lot, but that's the one I'll share, and that is Denver and Lakers. I'll go first half over. My eye screen is messing up, but the last number I saw was 110. So when I get off the show, I'll go and lock that in. Denver, Lakers first half over. And last but not least, we'll slide it on over to my guy, Dutch. Let the people know what the freshest look of the day is and take us home.
Yeah, man. Freshest look. You see what it is, man. This is Philly Blue. Believe it. Philly motherfucking Blue. That's right. I got the 4.5, later 5.5. The Sixers at the crib. Game 3. It's good money. Let's go. Appreciate everybody in the chat. All the real ones holding us down. Cheshire Cat. Star Child. I see you, my dude. Joe K in the building. Roy D'Amico. My fault. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Yo, stay fresh. Stay blessed. And let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.